Good morning. It's Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. And what does that mean? That means it's time for NRG This Week. My name is Leon Thomas, and you're here for NRG This Week. We'll be right back to get started and have our co host, Mike Weiner, the president and CEO of NRG, on the line. Here we go. Welcome again to NRG This Week. I'm Leon Thomas. If it's Wednesday at 8 a.m., that means only one thing. It's NRG This Week. If it's 5 o'clock and you're in California, thanks for waking up to watch the show. We still don't know what time it is in Alaska and Hawaii, but it doesn't matter. We're glad that you're up watching. Let's bring NRG Network Referral Group President and CEO Mike Weiner on. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, Leon, I am doing absolutely phenomenal. How are you this morning?
Everything is good. It's good. So let's get right to it. You were on a sports show yesterday. First Impression Sports Talk. I listened to part of it while I was in my car driving around. You did good.
I absolutely loved it. Jasmine was a great host. We talked Orioles, we talked Ravens. Outside of networking, Leon, I was so in my element. She made me feel very comfortable, and yeah, we took a look at it. I see championships coming to
All right.
Baltimore for the Orioles and the Ravens. So
Yeah.
we had
Okay.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
spectacular time.
Yeah. Enough of that sports stuff. Yeah. Yeah. People's look at that. Our numbers drop just like that. We mentioned 30 seconds of sports, and it goes down. I don't understand people. All right, Mike. Let's talk about some real heavy things with networking. All right. Now, I attend a lot of NRG meetings, right? The group sessions that take place. You got them all over the country, right here on Zoom. But here's something that I just get irritated with. Folks say, "I'm going to connect you for a one-on-one," something that you really are a proponent of. You say, "Let's have a one-on-one. Contact them, do a text intro, email intro, whatever." And it's just not being done right. I mean, I talk about what a one-on-one is, and then let's go back and forth on some of the horror stories about them and how we're supposed to handle that one-on-one. Go ahead.
When it's a great question. When new people join Leon, I really mentor them on how to do a one-on-one properly, and I tell them I'm going to be introducing them to some of the best people in NRG. So really, what they should do when they get on the Zoom, if it's a Zoom, if it's live, it really doesn't matter. They should talk about the other person first. It's not that TV radio show. What's in it for me with them? So they should ask questions similar to, what are your biggest challenges? What are key industries that you like to work with? A really good question is, what is proprietary about your company? What's exclusive? If I was out there talking about your company, what's something that's proprietary? You need to show a sincere, genuine interest in the other person. And then when you know you've done it correctly, is when they look at you and they go, "Hey, Mike, tell me about you. I want to know more about you. We've talked about me. Now I'd like to know about you." But just throwing information out. We were born this year, company started this year. That's not what we're looking to do. We're looking to help each other out.
hmm now, Mike, one of the things that you just talked about is, let's talk about what's so different about your company. What makes your company good, and be able to talk about it. And what I've seen happen is this. Folks get on the one-on-one and they say, "I'd like to hear about your business." And I tell them about my business. And let's kind of do a role play on this. All right, Mike, let's do that now. So we start and you start with no, I'll start with tell me about your business and I'll show you what happens. Here we go. Hey, Mike, Leon Thomas here. We got a one-on-one schedule today. Man, great. Thanks for being here. I'm looking forward to talking with you. Mike, tell me about you and your business.
I appreciate that, Leon. I started the company in 2001. We're a networking organization dedicated to helping folks grow their business nationwide and international.
How nice. Listen, let me tell you about me. And for the next 25 minutes, I go on about me, 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 my business, me. Then I end the call with, so, do you think it's something that we could get together on, and maybe I told you something that you would like to have and buy from me? I had one of those yesterday. Yesterday, Mike, help us out. What should happen?
Yeah. I mean, what you just described is like everything going wrong. It should be an interchange. It's not a sales call. It's a collaborative call to see how the two of you can work together. You're not trying to close the other person. Can you buy my product or my service? That's so 1980s. You when you ask the question, you want to ask a series of questions, not just get it back to you and then you pour out for 28 minutes. If you notice, when you asked me the question, I was clear, I was concise, and I was short. Less is better, less is more in this case. So you want to have an interchange. You should be looking at the other person as a power partner. How can each of you help each other to drive more business? If they need your product or service, they're going to tell you. That's an obvious, and vice versa. So you really want to make it more collaborative, and it's not a sales call. It's a collaboration call among two professionals that are getting to know each other for the first time. Because if you go in hardcore sales, they're going to have trouble referring you to their clients. They're going to go, God, if they did that to me, what are they going to do to my clients?
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, it's really, really bad. And the other thing is this: I've been on one-on-ones where I've said to someone, "Tell me about your business," and they kind of downgrade what they do. Oh, we're just a little company that does this. We're just a little company, and then they go into the problems. The biggest problem I have is finding people. The biggest problem I have is that folks always tell me my price is too high. They jump right into the sad scenario. That's not the game there either, right? We shouldn't do that, or should we do that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you shouldn't do that. That comes from a lack of confidence. Leon, I was taught back in the 80s, there's three things you have to believe in: your company, your product or your service, and yourself. And if there's a chip in the armor with any of those three, you're in trouble. You've got to believe in the company that you work for. Whether if you work for another company, great. Find out everything about them. Find out you should have met with the owner. What's proprietary? What's the backstory? What's the value proposition to the client? And then the product and service, you need to know it inside out. If you're brand new, you've been there a month, and someone's asking you about solar panels and you don't know, be honest with them. And then yourself. You need to be not cocky, arrogant, and pompous, but you need to be confident about what you do. Sob stories and, oh, woe is me. That's great on the young and the restless in General Hospital, but that's not going to suffice in real life. You want to be confident, but you've got to have all three of those down: your service or your product, your company, and yourself. And I usually can tell, Leon, when I talk to somebody, if they have an issue with one of those three, I usually can find it out pretty quickly.
Right, right. And Mike, let's talk about this: the Zoom versus a Zoom one-on-one or whatever platform versus a phone call one-on-one. Does it matter that someone says I'd like to do a one-on-one, but I only can do it on phone because I'm going to be in my car, I'm going to be coming from an appointment or whatever? Or does it definitely have to be on Zoom?
It doesn't have to be on Zoom, but I'm gonna use the word however. You know that when you say the word but, it negates everything you just said. However, when you're on Zoom, like Leon, you and I are here and we get to see each other. We get to look at each other. We get to experience when someone's driving a car or a truck and they're doing a one-to-one, how attentive are they really? I mean, they should be looking at the road. It kind of freaks me out when people are on Zoom from their car, from their truck, and you know that one minute you're looking at them and the next minute you're looking at the steering wheel. I really believe that if you can't set up a time on Zoom and you can't meet live, try to reschedule the appointment. I think a phone call, it loses, it's important to have eye contact. It's important to gauge the other person. You need to know what kind of person they are. Are they a double A personality, or are they like you and I, Leon, where they're outgoing? Are they shy? What are their, I've had people twirling their hair and twirling their pen and, nervous things. And I've talked to people about that too. I've had other people address that. You need to be composed. You need to be focused. You need to be engaged. We had Rocky on a few weeks ago. He's 21 years old. He's always engaged in the Zoom call. You can get a lot out of reading somebody's body language by being on a Zoom. So, my preference would be, yeah, if you can meet live, great. Zoom would be the second choice. And, because we're nationwide now, Zoom is the practical choice. And phone call would be the last resort.
Mhm. My name is Leon Thomas. I'm here with NRG President and CEO Mike Weiner. Mike is the president and CEO of NRG Network Referral Group. We're here every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Now, Mike, if someone wants to learn more about NRG, they want to learn more about Network Referral Group, how do they get in touch with you, Mike?
The easiest way, Leon, great question, is to reach out to me at my cell number, 443-756-9656. Texting really works well because I'm running 30 Zooms a week. And generally, if you reach out to me during the day, I'm on a Zoom. The website, nrg.online, is a great place. You can reach out there. And of course, my email, mike at networkreferralgroup.com. I would love to talk with you. I was telling you, Leon, we're getting some unbelievable industries in NRG, and I've never been more excited about it. Just all kinds of industries, things you wouldn't believe. And, the power of the three-way text intro. I've got a woman in California, Leon. She's referred like six people to me. Three have already joined, and several more coming in. So reach out to me. I've been doing this for a long time. Leon and I have a great track record of working together for years, and the whole purpose of this is a lot of times I have a visitor here or a member is education, and as long as we're moving forward in life, that's the best thing that we can do.
And if you'd like to be a guest on Network Referral Group show on NRG this week, you can contact Mike. Again, his phone number is 443-756-9656. You can contact me as well. My name is Leon Thomas. I run the production company that takes care of this show. You can contact me at 443-756-5700 or by email at leon at the leonthomasgroup.com. Mike, let's talk some now about Zoom etiquette and things that folks just don't do right on Zoom. Give me some of those. You share some of yours. Let's talk about them, and then I'll share some of the things that I just see virtually that folks just aren't doing right. You go first.
I run 30 Zooms a week, Leon, so I see a little bit of everything. Couple things with Zoom etiquette. You always want to be looking into the camera. That's what I'm doing right now. And you've taught me that. There's times I even deviate from that, but you want to be looking into the camera because that way you're looking at the person and not down, at the bottom of their chair, at their shoes. You really want to have your camera on. One of the things I'm really proud of with the NRG members, and Dr. Z says this all the time, is most of the members have their Zoom on all the time. So you really want to be able to do that. Um, so that people know you're engaged. They know that you're listening. If you're not there, and it's a challenge with me when there's a new person and the video's not on and they're muted. I'm like, are they there? Are they making coffee? Are they making an omelet? What's going on? So you want to be as engaged as you can. Um, and you want to be looking at the camera and not doing things on the computer. I've seen people turn sideways and they're on the computer and things like that. The more engaged you are, the more people get your genuineness, and people want to work with people they know, like, and trust and are genuine. And if you're not focused, if you're not there most of the call, you're only there for when you talk, it doesn't send off a good signal. It doesn't send off a good vibe. It's back to whiff and what's in it for me.
One of the things you just talked about, Mike, was the importance of looking into the camera, right? I'm making eye contact here directly into the camera. Now, one of the things that many of us were taught growing up was when you speak to someone, look them in the eye, right? Make eye contact with the person you're speaking with. Now, that works differently virtually. If I wanted to look you in your eye, physically see your eyes right now, Mike, I've got to do this, right?
Right.
Your eyes, my monitor is like right here, it's down below. Now, I'm not making eye contact. I'm looking you in your eyes. I see the inside of your eyes, but I'm not making contact with you because this yields eye contact, right? You mentioned the side view,
Right.
right? Because a monitor's set up over here or whatever the office setup is, and the camera's right here, and folks are watching the Zoom screen over here and they're communicating, and you see this side view. I'm like, no, no, no. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. And I had someone tell me in a larger Zoom meeting that if I look at my camera here, I'm not going to be able to check my email over here, which was a clear indication that they're not paying attention and are not fully engaged
Right.
in what's
Right.
going on, right? Here's
Correct.
another one. Here's another one. This is a pet peeve of mine. The virtual background that's not done properly. All right. So we, this whole virtual background stuff took off back during the pandemic. Oh, I'm on the beach chilling. I'm in Vegas or whatever. And there's some folks whose camera quality is not good enough for a virtual background. And so every little move they make, it gets pixelated and they go out of the screen and they kind of blend into the background, right? And you're like, ugh, this is a horrible, horrible impression. So don't do that one. And Mike, can I give you my really, really big one though? Yeah, I know you want to hear the really big one.
I'm so ready. I'm so
I know.
primed. What's your
I
big
know you
pet
want to hear
peeve
the
with
big one.
Zoom etiquette?
All right. Zoom etiquette. Here it is. And it's just anytime, anything, not just on Zoom. Be on time.
Oh my God.
Be on time.
Yeah. You know what? It's embarrassing for me that we had a meeting yesterday and the guest was there at 5 minutes of. At the top of the hour, I still had nobody there. They start coming in, and it's like people would be late for their own funeral, Leon. I swear to God. My mother, my father taught me, please, thank you, excuse me, and be on time. Be a few minutes early. I mean, you wouldn't go to an interview and be late, would you? I mean, if you would, that's kind of stupid. You want to be on time. And, it shows respect to whoever's running the meeting. It shows respect to the other people there. But yeah, I understand why that's your big pet peeve. I have people that come in late 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I got a question for you, Leon, because there's one I haven't been able to solve. What do I do with the member who has the cat going across the screen. I don't know. Do they lock the cat out of the office? But I have several members where they have a cat. It's a hog. That cat wants the whole Zoom, and you never see a dog going across a camera or a turtle. But the cat, what would you do with someone like that? I'm flipping the switch here and asking you, do I tell them, hey, you really need to get the cat out of there? It's cute the first time, but by the sixth time, you're ready to go to that state and take the cat and push him out of the room.
Production team, do we have a disclaimer that talks about the opinions and views? Do we have that? Let's run that now because what was just said, that's Mike's opinion. That's right. That was Mike's opinion on cats, turtles, and dogs. Right? That's what Mike said about cats, turtles, and dogs. You heard Mike say whatever he said about cats, turtles, and dogs. All right. Now I'm going to tell you my stance on it. Right? This is
Okay.
the Leon Thomas stance, not necessarily that of the company. It's Leon Thomas's stance. Mike, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you a story. Then I'm gonna get back to your question. I
Okay.
have a really good friend who, when he was dating his wife, the reason he did not propose to her is because she had a cat.
She had a cat.
She had a
Mm-hmm.
cat, and I'm like, "Look, man, you guys have been dating 2.5 years. You love her. She loves you. The families get along. Da 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 da. You're great people. Yeah, y'all need to get married." He's like, "Yeah, I know. But there's one reason I haven't proposed to her is because she has a cat." I'm like, well, okay, so what's wrong with the cat? He's like, you don't understand. That cat goes everywhere. When I try to get close to her and put my arms around her and eat some popcorn and watch a movie at my place, there's that cat. It's right here. There's that cat. And she holds that cat up and goes, isn't he the cutest? And puts it right in my face. He says, and I'm about ready to get rid of that cat. I'm like, oh man, so what are you gonna do? He says, I gotta have a conversation about that cat. So 3 weeks later, he calls me and he says, we had the cat conversation. I'm going to buy the ring tomorrow. Go, really? Really? He just told her, this cat, it's not a part of our relationship. Now, here's what I want everyone to understand. There are some folks that are pet lovers. Are some folks that think all puppies are cute, all cats are cute, all kittens are cute. Looky, looky, looky. Great, great. And if you're on a one-on-one and that's the case, great. But if you're in a group environment and that cat keeps coming across and you hold it up and bring attention to it every time, and isn't it cute? One, two, three. That's it. You got to take that cat away. You got to take the dog away. You got to put the turtle away, the goldfish. You got to do something because it becomes a distraction to others, particularly if you're the one presenting, if you're on the big screen. Imagine I'm presenting right now and I got my little cat with me. And I'm talking about sales etiquette. I have my cat with me and I'm talking about how to close a sale. Oh, he's just a little cutie. We're just teaching them how to close a sale. Stop. And what about those folks that don't like animals, that don't like cats, don't like dogs? What if they don't want to see this here? Mike, people have a lot of mental problems right now, right? Mental health
Oh
is
my
one of
God,
the one
yes.
of the big areas that's affecting us now. What if someone is reminded of a traumatic event that happened to them because they see the dog, they see the cat? We don't know what's going on the other end. So I'm just saying, be considerate. Be considerate. You love your
Yeah.
cat, great. Mike, can we bring Mike back on here? Mike, I'm telling you right now, this 5-minute conversation we've just had about cats and dogs, we're going to get more
Yep.
comments about that than any other thing we have on this show. You watch what I tell you.
You know, I don't have a dog. I don't have a cat. When my dad was alive as a teenager, we have a funny story, Leon. He in the 1970s there was a lot of box turtles on the side of the Baltimore Beltway, and if it would rain one night and then it was like in the 60s, 70s the next morning. So at the end of the day, my dad was a pharmacist. He'd come home with a box, and if he brought the box in, I knew that he got a turtle. We had like 25, 30 turtles. If he didn't bring a box in, he usually brought a pizza because he felt bad for me that he didn't get a turtle. But people are such, I don't have any pets right now. I run my own business. I don't have the time to walk a dog, a cat, a turtle, whatever. I had goldfish years ago, but people love cats and dogs so much. you know um what did your friend do with the so what happened with the cat? Did they get rid of the cat, or you didn't finish the story? He bought the ring, but what
She got
happened to the cat?
he had the cat conversation. She agreed that she would get rid of the cat.
Good for her.
She
I
agreed she'd
mean,
get
that's
rid of the
true
cat,
love. Yep,
right?
we are gonna get
Is
bombed with controversial
we
stuff on
it's
this.
coming. It's
More
we're
than
going.
Lamar Jackson. More.
I tell you what, folks. If you have another view on cats and dogs on Zoom, if you have a different view than Mike and I do, we'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear it. In fact, we can do a full show on cats
No,
and
not a
dogs
full
virtual.
show.
We can do
No.
it. Let's do it. No, we love tackling controversial issues, and I know this is going to be a hot button one for some folks. I know it is. All right, Mike. Now that we've caused enough trouble in the morning, we
Oh
talked
my
about
God.
sports first, and we ended it busting on animals. Oh my goodness, we're done. We're done. That's all I can tell you. We're done. We're done. So, Mike, I want to start a new segment on the show. We're going to end
Yes,
with this
sir. I'm
new
ready. Is
segment.
it sports? As long as
No,
it's not cats and
it's
dogs.
not. It's not cats and dogs. Man, you're coughing too. What's up with? Did you just catch my
I,
cough virtually?
I went back to the doctor yesterday. I'm on Mucinex. I'm almost done. You didn't want to hear about it last week as one of my best friends. I'm not going to talk about my allergies. I've had them for 11 days. I'm absolutely miserable. I can't breathe, but you don't want to hear about it. So I'm not going to Jewish guilt you. We're just,
I,
two longtime friends.
I
Excuse me there for the cough.
I didn't say that I didn't want to hear about it. I just said, wait a minute, everything you do, I do.
I was just looking for love from my
I was
brother.
just
That's
looking for
all.
love. I
My
was just
mom
looking for
wasn't
somebody to fit.
My mom wasn't
My
here to
mom
help
used to tell
me.
me that. I bet that's never happened on a Zoom before. So, listen, Mike. All right, let's go back. We're going to start a new segment on the show.
Yes.
It's called Dad Jokes.
Dad
Corny
jokes?
dad, corny dad jokes. And I'm going to play a video right now. So then you'll get the idea, and our audience will get the idea. And then next week, you and I both will give a dad joke. Here we go.
What do you call an elephant that doesn't matter? What? An irrelevant.
How does the moon cut his hair? Eclipse it.
I was addicted to the hokey pokey, but I turned myself around.
What did the plate say to the other plate? What? Dinner's on me.
What kind of tree fits in your hand?
What?
A palm tree.
My goodness gracious. Was that a clip out of Dumb, Dumber, and Dumbest? Or something like that? Oh my
So
God.
next week, you come armed with one, I'll come armed with one. And
Okay.
our guests for next week, please inform them to come armed with a dad
Okay.
joke. And if you would like to share your dad joke, put it on video and email it to me, and we'll play it on a upcoming episode of NRG this week. My email address is leon at theleonthomasgroup.com. Email it to me. Take your camera out, do the joke, send it to me, and we'll get it going. There we have it, Mike.
So now I got to do some research on bad dad jokes.
And Mike,
One more thing to do.
excuse me. Let's go back to our coughs analogy. Attitude of gratitude, right?
Yes,
Be
sir.
nice to people, all those things, right? You
Yeah.
were hurting last week, right? And you were telling me, and I jokingly said, yeah, I don't care. Guess what started happening to me Saturday, Friday night, Saturday?
You know,
Allergies hit.
God was disappointed in your treatment of me. So he said, I'm going to drop allergies on Leon Thomas and
And
let him know how Mike Weiner feels.
it
And
hit
I
me.
bet when you started with the allergy Saturday night, the first one you thought of, you looked at your wife and go, damn that Mike Weiner. He somehow gave me allergies over Zoom. I don't know how the hell he did it, but the
But it
guy's pretty
happened.
dynamic. He
It
did it.
happened.
He gave me allergies.
Right on. Folks, Leon Thomas, that's Mike Weiner. You're watching NRG this week. Thanks for being here. We're here every Wednesday at 8 a.m. If you would like to learn more about Network Referral Group, go to nrg.online. You can contact NRG President and CEO Mike Weiner. You can give him a call at 443 756 9656. You can also email him at Mike at networkreferralgroup.com. I'm Leon Thomas. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching another episode of NRG this week. Here we go.